Hello and welcome to Goldtide IAS Academy. So, without wasting any time, let's get started. Our question number one: the aim of Digital Public Good Align (DGPA) is A. To accelerate attainment of Sustainable Development Goal in low and middle income country. B. To increase infrastructure development of logistics sector. C. To decrease tariff on public good for developing country. D. To increase percentage of renewable energy in total installed capacity. Now, let me have a look into explanation. So here, first thing that we have to remember is that it is multi-stakeholder initiative with main aim to achieve sustainable development goal in low and middle income country by facilitating discovery, development, use of and investment in digital public good. Hence, we can say that our final answer for this question will be A. To accelerate attainment of sustainable development goal in low and middle income country by use of digital public good. Now, let me have a look into question number 2. Question number 2. Consider the following pair. On a one side, we have place in a news, and on a second side, we have been given with a location. First pair, Lake Tanganyika, freshwater lake in Eastern Africa. Second, Apo Island, Philippines. So here we have option A, one only, B, two only, C, both one and two, D, neither one nor two is our correct one. Now let me have a look into explanation. First one, let me understand what is Lake Tanganyika. So it is Africa's great lake and it is located on eastern side of Africa, right? And it is second oldest freshwater lake in the world, as well as it is second largest by volume and second deepest after Lake Baikal, which is located in Siberia, right? Now let me understand how many nations share its boundary with Lake Tanganyika, which is also known as Lake Tanzania, right? Here we have Tanzania and here we have Lake Tanganyika. So nations that share its boundary with Lake Tanganyika are first one Tanzania, second Democratic Republic of Congo, third Burundi, and fourth Zambia, right? So our first pair, that is correct one, and second pair, that is also correct. Here we have our dear nation, which is India, and here we have Apo Island, which is located in Philippines. Hence we can say our final answer for this question will be C, that is both of pair is our correct one. Now let me have a look into question number 3. Question 3. Consider the following statement regarding grant in Lok Sabha. First, vote of credit is like a blank check given to executive by Lok Sabha. Second, supplementary grant is granted when money has been spent on any service during financial year in excess of amount granted for that service. Our second statement, that is incorrect one, right? Why it is incorrect one? Let me understand it in explanation. Before that, we have to find out which of the above statement is our correct one. We have option A, one only, B, two only, C, both one and two, D, neither one nor two is our correct one. Now let me have a look into explanation. So vote on credit. So vote on credit is like a blank check given to executive by Lok Sabha to meet unexpected demand upon resource of India. And we also do found mention of vote on credit under Article 116 of Constitution. Hence our first statement, that is correct one. Our second statement. Before that, let me understand what is supplementary grant. So it is granted when when amount authorized by Parliament, though Appropriation Act for particular service for current financial year is found to insufficient for that year. Now let me understand supplementary grant in layman word. Suppose, I do not want to suppose it, but let me suppose that right now India is facing a third wave of coronavirus, and in a third consecutive year we are seeing reverse migration of migrant from urban area to rural area, and in a rural area they are seeking job under Manrega. Now under Appropriation Act, government allocated 61,000 crore rupees for Manrega, but due to sudden rise in demand of Manrega job, government will have to spend more money, Hence, government will provide supplementary grant. Hence, our second statement, that is incorrect one, right? Because we provide supplementary grant for current financial year when we found that money allocated for that service is insufficient for that year. And we also found mention of supplementary grant under Article 115 of Constitution. Hence, our final answer for this question will be A, that is one only. Now, let me have a look into question number 4. Question 4. Which of the following statement best describe the term bioprospecting? First, exploring an area to measure its diversity richness. Second, conservation of biodiversity using cryo method. Third, extinction of species due to extinction of its prey. Fourth, exploring molecular, genetic and species level diversity for product of economical importance. Now, before we jump into our explanation, let me understand definition of bioprospecting. So here, bioprospecting, it is a process of discovery and commercialization of new product based on biological resource. For example, we are living in an ecosystem where we found different kind of flora and fauna. Then whenever we found a new plant, then we will commercialize them and we will analyze them whether they are useful for human society or not. And not only flora and fauna, we will also commercialize traditional knowledge of community. Right now, let me share you one story so that you can understand it in simple word. You guys might be aware with Sanjeevani Kand of Ramayana, right? If you are not, then let me share you a story. So what happened is that when Lakshmana fell unconscious near to death, hit by an arrow from Ravan's son Meghananda, then Hanuman fled to Dandagiri hill to fetch 4 plants. But instead of, he bought entire hill and saved life of Lakshmana. So why I am sharing this story with you? Because what physician had done that time was he had used traditional knowledge of flora to save life of Lakshmana, right? So in a similar manner, whenever we found new plant, new flora, new fauna, and we found new traditional knowledge, we will commercialize them and we will analyze whether they are useful for human society or not in terms of their use in agriculture, nanotechnology, biomedical research, and etc. and etc. Hence, we can see that our final answer for this question will be D, that is exploring molecular, genetic and species level diversity for product of economical importance. Now, question number 5. So question number 5, which of the following industry rank lowest based on wastewater generation? First, chemical. Second, sugar. Third, paper and pulp. D, food, dairy and beverage. Now, let me have a look into explanation. So here, according to Central Pollution and Control Board, sugar milk rank third after pulp and paper and chemical factory. And the least sector which generates least amount of wastewater is food, dairy and beverage industry. Hence, our final answer for this question will be D, that is food, dairy and beverage industry, right? So this is all for today. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can also post your score below in comment box, and you can also solve rest of 5 question by clicking link below in description. And if you are liking our video, then please do subscribe and share this video with your friend. Thank you. See you soon in next video.